All right, welcome back everyone to Speedromizer 9. We have just finished setting up for our next interview, so let's get right into it and see you there.
Good afternoon, Speedromizer community. We are back with another interview segment, and we have two absolute legends of Klonoa in this call. We have Eros and Mackie Garou. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty all right. Yeah. How about you, Mackie?
Doing good. A bit excited, a bit nervous about the whole thing, but yeah, hopefully it goes well.
Yeah, we got a brief. I was listening back and forth, just how you've been absolutely crushing Klonoa. Just wanted to get your initial thoughts. You're sitting there. The draft lottery is going on. Your name comes up and gets paired with Klonoa. Walk us through that. Your individual thoughts.
Well, first of all, I don't want to be crushing Klonoa. He's cute. I don't want anything bad to happen to him. Anyway, the funny thing is, I never played Klonoa at all. So when I saw that, I was like, "Oh, that's cool," because it's a name I hadn't played. I didn't even know that was like a Namco IP. I was like, it's probably, Sega, because they made Nights into Dreams, so they probably are making like this cute mascot too. And I was like, oh, it's Namco. I was like, wait, these are the people who made Tekken. That's like kind of a different vibe. So I played the game. I wasn't sure what I was going to get. And honestly, I'm a big fan of platformers. So I knew that I was going to have a good time. That's the biggest takeaway. The first playthrough was rough because there's a lot of like puzzle elements. It's like very puzzle heavy. And as time went on, I eventually started looking up like some of the tricks, and I realized that there were so many tricks that were like here and there. I would see like some of them in the world record. I would see some of them in the tests. And I would see some of them that were discovered like RTA after the world record was set, and people like hadn't been super active for a couple of years. So I got super excited, to be honest. The more I was playing it, the more I was looking at how many little cool things I could get in, whether I gained time or not. And then I started gaining time with those techniques. I was like, oh, sweet. Well, that's even better. Can do the cool thing and then gain time. So yeah, that's been kind of the experience. It's been really cool, and I have to emphasize the interaction with the community has been super awesome. It's like a very small community, and that's exactly how I want it. So Eros, we were discussing like a bunch of time. The world record holder dog, we also interacted a bunch of times, and they were like, wait, you didn't know the guide? And I was like, there's a guide? And there was like 2 hours and 10 minutes of like, here is all of the things that you need to do precisely. And I was like, oh my gosh, give me more.
Yeah. Oh yeah. With how small our like group of like runners are, not only do we get really excited when a new runner comes in, because when a new runner comes in, we are super excited. We're like, oh my god, new runner, somebody can maybe push the game a little more. But we're also very happy and enthusiastic and more than like very helpful about it too. We're like, oh, here are everything that you need to know, not only guides, but forums, literally any notes or anything like that, like send them our way. If you come up with like anything new that might save time, we'll help you test out. Like we will take time to guide the newest member of our community, either it be because we're in the Game Boy just like Advance world per se, because again, this is a Game Boy Advance game. There's 2 Game Boy Advance games for Klonoa. We're doing the Dream Champ tournament, which is the second one. But even when somebody joins our community per se, like it being either or, we always try and help out, guides, everything, and like any tips, tricks. If anybody comes in, has a question about like, oh, how do I go about doing this? Like, what's the inputs, or like, what do I have to do? We're always like instantly, it's either me, it's either Dog, or it's one of the moderators like, oh, we'll do it like this, or even some other runner who hasn't been active in the community for a while who might know how to do it. It's like, oh, I'll show you how to do it real quick. And like we do a quick screen recording, send it onto the Discord, everybody sees it, and especially the new runner, and then they learn it. And yeah, so we're super happy whenever somebody new comes in, and Speedromizer is definitely that like realm where like new runners can come into a game that they've never heard of, don't know about, and from that they learn the game and either A, enjoy it and just like it's okay, whatever, or B, do what Mackie has been doing and has been absolutely destroying this speedrun and estimate and records. It's crazy how much they have taken to the game and how well they are doing, for sure.
No doubt. Thank you. So obviously you came in, just started, just going at it, no guide. Was there anything that was difficult to learn just in the 90 days? Is there anything that was just like really hard to learn?
Well, I think after I saw the guide that explains like kind of literally everything frame by frame almost, that became like a lot more accessible. I would argue there were a lot of techniques that initially I thought I would probably need to learn, and those are the ones that if you mess up, you have to redo the stage, like not the whole stage, but the current like screen all over again. And there are a bunch of like panels that are very, they take the time. They take the time that they take, and initially I wouldn't reset too, so I would have like different enemy cycles all the time. That was the worst of it all. But then I realized from the guides that whenever Dog would make a mistake, they would immediately reset, and they would come up at the beginning of the screen, and I was like, oh wait, I can do that, right? That's like, that was the big hurdle. And I just needed to be brave and say, hey, I don't like the current like situation right now. I would love to reset this like little portion. And yeah, that was the biggest. Also the final boss. Final boss has been like a roller coaster of like, this boss is too hard, and then it was like, oh, this boss is too easy. I better learn some new tricks that nobody has used before. And I was like, oh no, the boss is hard again.
It's really just a melting pot of tech.
Yeah.
Question for Eros: how did you get involved with the Klonoa community?
So I've talked about it before in previous Speedromizers because I have submitted this game multiple times. And I've also not only showcased it last time, but I've also done the EX stages. The way I got into this was actually by my uncle / aunt. My uncle used to work at a Sears when Sears was like really big and popular. If anybody remembers Sears at all,
and was around.
Yeah. And what my uncle would do is he would come home with like some games, like just some random GameCube games, Nintendo games, like any games that would work on like our consoles that we had at home. And one day he brought Klonoa. He brought us Klonoa to Dream Champ Tournament, and he was like, oh, I think this is a game that you might like. And he gave it to my aunt, and my aunt was playing it, and she was enjoying it, but always would get stuck on the third world. Third world was always like the biggest like point where we just got stuck. We would restart a new file, restart, get through everything else. But World 3, we could not get past the first level ever. We were so confused. We didn't understand. We didn't know what to do. And we stopped playing for a while, right? Then fast forward to like me being, I want to say like preteen, teenager, like maybe 14, 15. I realized I'm playing through it again, being like, oh, I rediscovered this game. This is pretty fun. And then I would get stuck on that puzzle. I'm like, man, what do? I don't know how to do it. And then I remembered there's walkthroughs and guides of so many things on YouTube and on the internet. There's no way that there isn't a guide for this game. There has to be a guide. So I looked up a guide and found out that, yeah, there are guides for this game. And I was able to actually finally not only 100% the game, but beat the game in general. I was like, awesome, cool. And then this was also around the time where I was also still learning about speedrunning just in general. And then I found out about Klonoa speedruns. I was like, oh my God, this is something I have to do. And I started doing it, stopped for a little bit because I didn't have the equipment or anything to record. Then when I finally got like my first computer and everything like that to be able to record even like an emulator for like GBA and stuff like that, I then dove back into the speedrunning of it and fell in love with the game even more, because originally my original time was like 1 hour 30, 140 about. And then when I found out that there was new skips, new tricks, a bunch of new tech, I was like, oh my God, this game is kind of like how Mackie experienced it, where it's like, oh my God, there's so many cool things for this game that I did not know about. So then I started diving headfirst into that and started like grinding it out. And I ended up getting 3rd place on the leaderboards. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to try and get better. But then I got busy with a bunch of other stuff and everything. But now that Mackie has been getting into speedrunning this and has, again, I emphasize this a bunch, has absolutely blown my record out of the water, my PV out of because again, my record is 1:13:58, I believe. And Mackie has beaten it by like 6-7 minutes, no pun intended. And it is crazy to see that. And now I'm more motivated than I ever have been to get back into it, because I'm a very competitive person at heart, and I'm okay with them going ahead and taking the 3rd place, right? But if I could at least if I can at least put up a fight for it and at least make it somewhat close, I'd be a lot more happier with that, right? But it just all kind of stems back to like me being a child, finding out about the game, and then as an adult finding about speedrunning and that I can record stuff and pushing it as much as I can to get these better times, and also just finding out there's so much cool tech for this game. This game has some of the coolest tech and some of the most like you'll watch it and you will think like the game is pretty straightforward, but there is so many things that like Mackie does that is phenomenal, that's great, that a human can do. But if we meet the task incentive for next week Sunday, you're going to see even more crazier stuff that like is even more insane. And it's honestly, it's going to blow your mind how much not only the normal run is, but how much time has been invested into the task to like be as good as it is, and like just breaking the game in ways that we could never think it could have gotten broken in.
Right. And one thing I do want to mention briefly on the task, we have been trying to get this task in for the last two Speedromizers. We've been trying to get this in since Speedromizer 7.
Yeah.
Couldn't get it in 7. Couldn't get it in 8. We've now gotten this in. Eros has been very persistent in getting this in, and I'm so happy that we'll finally be able to get to showcase this.
Yeah,
let's go.
Like, this is something you are not going to want to miss.
Yeah. I've just been wanting to give love to the people who have put in the time for that task, because that task, I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, was about like a year and a half of like on and off work, because Dog had originally done it, and then we got somebody to come in and like actually work on a task and like try and make it better. And like, again, it was like 6 months straight. I want to say like half a year, maybe even more, of just like, okay, on this level, how do I go about doing this? Is there any way that we can make this faster? Okay, there's this trick. How can I do this to make it fast? Like, it was on and off. And on top of that, if I'm not mistaken, DJ can correct me on this will be the first task for Speedromizer as well.
This is correct. A little bit of backstory. We did have, I think it was Speedromizer 2 or 3. We did have somebody that wanted to offer up as a prize the ability to task any game, but due to the logistics, we could never figure it out. So, you know, we're changing things up.
Yeah.
Future speedrunning plans. Mackie, I'm going to start with you. Future speedrunning plans post Speedromizer 9.
Well, that's kind of a big announcement. I'm gonna go for a break. However, doesn't mean that I will stop speedrunning. I think I'll keep speedrunning Klonoa some more. I know I negotiated that Dog returns into the scene if I get a certain time. So I will aim for a time that they could look at. And then I think a lot of it would be, as far as speedrunning goes strictly, me looking back at Restar and the speed game that is Restar, because I am actually a teacher for Restar. That's going to be showcased in 2 days, by the way, by Mackie. And I would love to just keep playing this game because I love it so much. It's kind of my Klonoa.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's mostly all of my plans.
And then Eros, for you, future speedrunning plans.
So, for starters, so next week, Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to be showcasing Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. Afterwards, I'm probably gonna still play it a little bit more, try and actually get a pretty good time. Not only with just we'll explain it when the run comes and everything, but there's a whole lot of mumbo jumbo that goes into trying to get this tracker going for this. But I want to get a good enough time to submit for that because again, I didn't think Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled was going to be as technical as it is. I thought it was just going to be like, oh, it's like Mario Kart, just race to the end, whatever. No, the tech is insane. It's crazy. And not only after that, I might not only for like same with Mackie, take a break for a moment. Just because I have a lot of like stuff going on in my life. Like, if you can see on my webcam, I have a Digivice here, so I'm a Digimon trading card game player. So I play Digimon a lot with my friends. Not only that, but just other stuff in general life coming up, right? But not only that with the Crash Team Racing, but I am going to get back into Klonoa, especially after Mackie has, again, I will emphasize this, has absolutely destroyed, crushed my run. And honestly, if Dog did not get a better time, if I'm not mistaken, the final time that they have shown us in the Discord yesterday would have been world record about like a year to 2 years ago now, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, and Dog could correct me whenever we do commentary. But again, Mackie has been destroying this game. And so with that in mind, knowing that I need to get back into this so I can at least put up a competent fight for that third place, at least make it somewhat close. So I'm definitely going to get back into it because watching Mackie's run from like, just so I know what to talk about when the time comes, seeing all those strats and everything, I'm like, I can do this and I could actually probably get a closer time than what I had originally. I just need to sit down and practice. So going back to Klonoa, which is again my main speed game, and maybe, just maybe, touching Nights into Dreams again, because I have not touched that game in a very long time.
Ooh.
And I know the community there is always looking for new stuff, and honestly, if we can get that for Speedromizer 10 maybe, I will submit it and show, and hopefully we get somebody to showcase it off, because yeah, it's a fun game for sure. So those are my plans for right now, for the foreseeable future, for sure.
Yeah, Knight's Journey of Dreams was our closer for Speedromizer 5, and it was a race. It was a beautiful run.
It was close. It was very close. I was one of the runners, and only reason I won was because H-Man died on one level. If he did not die, he probably would have taken it.
It's definitely, yeah. I actually recently put that on my 360, and that's another game that's gonna sit on my backlog for a minute. So I don't know where we are in terms of setup. I'm just gonna ask one last question. Eros, closing comments from you.
Just stay tuned. Just stay tuned. Mackie is going to not only do the Klonoa run, and is going to absolutely, again, I sound like a broken record, but again, it is just because it is true, is going to destroy this run, is going to do phenomenal job at it. And not only will you have me on commentary, but we are going to have the world record holder, or current world record holder as of Speedromizer 9, which is Dog in the Grass, going to be commentating with me as well. So we're going to have a pretty stacked commentary couch for Mackie's run. And on top of that, we might see some, I guess you could say, extra or EX levels potentially. But yeah, it's gonna, trust me when I say this run is one that you're not gonna want to miss, because again, if you have seen any Klonoa game, you know it's a platform, like a puzzle platformer, and we skip a lot of the puzzles for sure. Like the puzzle is more of a suggestion than it is a requirement. So it's definitely going to be a fun game, and you don't want to miss this at all. Mackie is going to do a phenomenal job at this for sure.
And then Mackie, closing comments from you.
Well, I'm very happy to be here. I hope to. That's one heck of an introduction. I've been prepped up. I've been propped up. Really. I hope to put on a good show. Thank you for having me. Thank you for organizing all this. It's really nice, and I was pleasantly surprised this Pride Month to see the charity organization that was benefiting from the organization from the speedrunning marathon. So be sure to donate, obviously within your capabilities. If you're watching this, I would appreciate it a lot as an ace person, and pronouns. Anyway, I hope to put on a good show, and stay tuned, and I will see you very soon.
I just want to interject real quick. Don't sell yourself short. It's through the hard work of runners like both of you and all the volunteers and all the runners and all the people sitting in Twitch chat right now that make this event keep going. Because without y'all, we're just sitting here like setting up for nobody. So thank you for continuing to support this event. And with that, we will be right back with more speedrunning goodness. Don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss this.
While we're setting up for the next game, I would just like to thank everyone who has donated so far. All of your donations are going to community, and it's beautiful to see that we've already almost raised excuse me for a sec. We've raised almost $200 already. Alright. Yeah, so we're just gonna set up for our next run, which is going to be Signalis. I'm really looking forward to this one. Very, very good game. But there are also many more cool games on the schedule, actually. This is just the first day. So later, we have Duck Life 2, which I mentioned before, and we have Kirby, which is also a very, very fun game. I love Kirby. Everyone loves Kirby, right? But there is just so much this event. Definitely stay tuned. But yeah, we're setting up for the next game. Get some drinks. We'll be right there once everything's ready.
One single step away, but it's too much. One single step more than I can take. Nothing remains. Drawn blood and empty promises to her. One single breath more. was drifting in your dream, drifting out of your memory. I've given my blood and kept my faith through this hailstorm. Yet here my hell was waiting with you, with no promise to keep. Would you know my name if I told you? Could we dance again if I played our song for you? My love, my stranger, to be with you must be enough. So please just let me stay with you just a little while longer. Just give me one moment, my darling. I know what you'd have me do. Just take my hands in yours, dear, to hide their bloodstains. Let me touch you